Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I would like to share with you a fantastic game played by Hungarian chess grandmaster Andras Adorjan. His opponent is Istvan Polgar, and this game was played in 1972 in Budapest. By the way, Adorjan would get his grandmaster norm only a year later in 1973. But now, without further ado, let's go for it and see what happened on the board. Adorjan opened up with e4 and knight c6 by Polgar. Black goes for Nemtsovich defense, but soon the game will take the shape of Alekhine defense. d4, d6, c4, knight b6, e takes d6. Here, of course, recapturing with the e pawn is considered to be stronger, but in our game we have c takes d6. Now comes d5, white proceeds with harassing black knights, knight e5, and knight d4, an interesting move by white. White is going for a pawn sacrifice, but now let's see where is white's compensation. Now comes a4, and the idea is to kick away the defender and win a piece. That's why black moved back his knight, knight c3, a5. But now as the light squared bishop's diagonal is opened, white is announcing a check from b5. There is a very pretty square on b5, and white will exploit that hole. Bishop d7, and this time f-pawn is coming to harass black knight. Bishop takes b5, f takes e5. Bishop c4 and e6, and black is in trouble, guys. Look at this. Black responded with f6, but let's also cover the line with f takes e6. Then in this case white can recapture with the knight, and this is a very unpleasant position for black. If queen d7, then white can proceed with his development, and if knight takes d5, then knight takes d5. Black is in trouble. In our game after e6 we have f6. Now comes b3. White is first kicking away the bishop, but from a6 square the bishop is still creating some problems for black. For example, white can't even castle kingside. But that's not a problem, guys, that's not a problem. Bishop e3 was played, g6. Black wants to solve the development of his kingside bishop, but now comes the h-pawn, h4 is on the board. h5 and g4, and black's kingside is going to become a target for white pieces. Bishop h6, and a powerful response, queen c2. The bishop is untouchable because black king can get checkmated. f5 was played, and we have bishop takes h6. In return, black pinned white knight and threatened knight takes d5. By the way, instead of rook c8, if rook takes h6 and g takes f5, again this is going to be winning. That's why in our game we have rook c8, but even this can't help black. Adorjan responded with queen d2, unpinned the knight and protected the bishop, but also g takes f5 could give white winning chances. If knight takes d5, then simply f6. If rook takes h6, in order to protect the pawn, then this time queen d2, and then knight takes d5. Again, white is winning. In our game after rook c8, queen d2, we have h takes g4, and now comes knight b5. Bishop takes b5, a takes b5, g3, a desperate attempt, but now comes bishop g7. Rook h7, yes guys, it's very difficult to find a good continuation for black. Bishop d4 is on the board, rook h5, and actually we have reached the critical position, and now you can pause the video and try to find white's next move. Ready? Witnessing the vulnerability of black king, Andras Adorjan found a spectacular continuation, and he went for a queen sacrifice. Look at this. The threat is queen takes g6 followed by queen f7, checkmate. Black accepted the sacrifice, but after h takes g5, white is opening up the h file for the rook, and now the threat is rook h8, checkmate. Knight d7, the knight is hurrying to protect black king. Of course, here e takes d7 is not a good idea, that can allow black to equalize the game. That's why instead of e takes d7, white announced a check, and after knight f8 we have bishop g7, after which Istvan Polgar resigned. Yes, the threat is rook takes f8, checkmate, and there is no escape. Let's just make a random move, and then white is announcing a brutal checkmate. Look at this. A very beautiful and aggressive game by Andras Adorjan. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this game. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video. Good luck.